Oh. Oh. Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Ope Podcast. I'm your host, Abby, and today I have Brittany Swartz here with me.
Hello. Hi.
I'm so glad you said hi because I feel like people get so awkward every time I say that, and they're like,
Good lucky for you. I'm perpetually awkward, so I should fit right in.
Truly. It's always a little bit awkward at first, and then it's like I feel like I
This
forget.
might be my jam.
Yeah, I feel like I forget that I'm like even talking like on a podcast with like I'm like I have a microphone literally right here
a million times.
Well, there's
look.
like camera, there's lights, and then like this computer over doggy. But Brittany, I swear, I like just didn't think this recording was going to like happen. Like I was like beginning to think that the universe wanted me to stop doing the podcast altogether because like it's like epically failed so many times.
It's so funny because I told Nikki I was going to be on, and so the morning after we were supposed to record the first time, she was like, "Hey, how was it?" And I was just like, "Oh, we had to push back, like something happened." And so today she texted me, she's like, "It's so much fun, right?" And I was like, "Actually, funny story, we had to push it back again."
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll let you know.
And like genuinely, like you're not the only one. Like I was supposed to record also like this last weekend with my friend Jose for the second time. Like the first time, like my technology was like messing up. I had to get a new cord. And then there was some miscommunication. I thought it was that Saturday. He thought it was the next Saturday. And I was like, well, I'm busy the next Saturday, which is going to be this weekend. And so needless to say, all I had to say was essentially, if this is out late, which you're going to be hearing it late,
Probably gonna be late.
It's going to be late. But it might be out on my birthday.
Ooh, I get to be the birthday episode?
Yeah, this is the birthday episode.
Happy birthday to us.
So if you're listening, share this post.
We're promising big things here.
Truly.
Can we deliver?
I fucking hope so.
Like, stay tuned.
Right? Like everything just fails. It turns off. And it's like, this is all we get.
That was the episode, the whole thing.
Yeah. I know. I'm just like, and then like yesterday,
we'll just, like promoted as the Lost Files, and then people will think it's like a really great episode, but it never existed in the first place.
I was starting to think, I'm like, okay, like, can I push something out? Like, if it doesn't work out again today for whatever fucking reason, I'm like, I still have clips from other like episodes. I'm like, I could just clip like the TikTokers episode, and I feel like people will be happy.
I think we should.
I don't know.
I'm for chaos.
I was gonna say
I'm chaotic evil.
Truly. Anytime I like text the group chat, I know what I'm gonna get. I'm like, if I'm looking for someone to just tell me to do whatever bad thing I want to do,
one friend's gonna be the happy ending always.
You will always say, "Do it." I'm like, is this thirsty or funny or both? And you're like, I don't know. I would.
There's a lot of things I wouldn't do. So. Or wait, not a lot of things. I think that's what this episode's about to be about.
Yeah, truly. Before we get into that though, little teaser. You have a way better memory than me, which I think I know.
Okay.
But I want you to tell the listeners how we know each other and then how we became friends, because I feel like it like went in stages.
Yeah. So I've known you since grade school, middle school to be exact. We didn't go to the same elementary, but we probably had classes together. I wouldn't really necessarily say we were friends back then. You had your group of friends, I had mine. High school, probably same thing. College, we would run into each other at the same parties.
Yeah.
And then kind of our like friend groups pretty much collided. We had a mutual friend. Can I say that name?
Ethan.
Biggie.
I don't think he listens, so he'll never know. He can't sue me. Also, it's true.
No, there's no bad stories about Ethan.
No.
Only great ones.
We love him.
We do.
So
yes.
I'm supposed to get married to him actually this year.
Yeah, was it like hard?
Oh my god. I mean, by the time this episode comes out, he's already, overdue.
Damn, we should call him.
Yeah, after this.
Or during.
You're live on the
Pivot,
podcast.
that's what the episode's about now. Planning your wedding.
Where's my ring?
Not my wedding, your wedding. I'll do anything to not plan my wedding.
Well, I don't want one, so.
Okay, but anyways.
No weddings for us.
Darn. No, so yeah, we became friends again in college. Our friend groups collided, and then yeah, we've just been hanging ever since. It's also how I found my fiance.
Yeah, not for me specifically. That friend group, Ethan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ethan could be our matchmaker. He didn't do any work. He just provided the location.
Such a man.
He gets all the credit, though.
What a man. Specifically a white man.
Gets the credit for nothing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But taking the credit? Well, not that he does.
He wouldn't take it.
No, I'm just kidding.
He would just smile and laugh.
Yeah. He would agree if you said it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's my recollection. The only memory that I have of, not the only, but like the only memory I have of us in high school is for some reason, like in the library, I needed someone to sit with and I asked you and you said, yeah.
Damn, it's one memory I don't have cataloged.
I don't even know what we talked about, but I just was like, oh, that was really nice.
Absolutely. I would have done that for like anyone, but yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, same. Okay, Britt. So a couple weekends ago, we were talking about topics that we could talk about on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some random questions for the end of the episode.
Love
but
that.
like to begin with, I wanted to start with some like one specific topic.
Okay.
And I kind of went back and forth between which ones I wanted to pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so this is more, I don't really call it a dating podcast, but I talk to guys that I've previously dated. So I'm like, what better topic to talk about with you specifically than like kind of like sexuality?
Okay.
And, self-discovery of that sorts.
Absolutely.
And so I guess I'm just going to dive right into it to let the listeners kind of like know the backstory. And I'm not going to speak for you this whole time, but I'll just give a little intro and then I have some questions.
I want to hear your summary.
Essentially, which I don't want to say, which like I guess like you can tell me like after I'm done with this, but like I don't want to say like you figured it out because I feel like sexuality isn't really a choice in my opinion, and I don't think it's totally black and white. And I know we like kind of love deep diving it, but essentially you came out while you were dating a white guy. Specifically, and I mean, not that it matters that he's white, but just
I know that's an interesting detail.
It just adds to the story. And so I guess like just from like your perspective, like I'm trying to like think of like what my one I didn't want to look at my notes just because we're in it, but from your perspective, like when did you like come to terms that this is like what your sexuality was? Oh, did I say what it is?
No, you haven't. No.
Oh, you're bisexual.
Yes.
Right?
So that's
okay.
That's
is
the
that
label.
How you identify?
That's the label that I like to use. I use bisexuality as an umbrella term. For some people in the community who really want to be nitpicky, it's kind of controversial. I'm not going to get into an LGBTQIA like history lesson.
Yeah.
But I use my bisexuality label. It's the one that I grew, like I've become comfortable. It's the one that I discovered, and like when I started accepting myself as being part of that community, like the one that I came to terms with. So it fits me. It fits like a glove. It's the one that I am most comfortable with. But like if somebody were to ask me, that does for me mean that I am open to non-binary people, transgendered persons. It doesn't like the person, the genitalia does not matter, the gender. I don't care about any of that. If you're an attractive person, then I am attracted to you. And it's a combo of like your physical attraction and honestly, can I have a conversation with you? plenty, especially men who have been handsome, smoke shows. They open their mouth and they are just revolting.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have a conversation with you, or they just say the most vile things. Instant turn off. So yeah, I am bisexual.
And I was like, I did that whole intro and I was like, I didn't even say it. Just talking about coming out. But that means so like so many different things for so many people.
Yeah, it really does. It's gonna mean something different. So like, I can't speak for everyone. That's what it means to me.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. So.
Right. And so, like, when did you like realize that this is like who you were? Like, has it been an always thing, or was it difficult for you? Because I feel like in our culture, especially potentially in the Midwest, like some people try to suppress that piece of them, whether like they probably always knew, but like it was like more admitting it to themselves. You know what I mean?
So for me, it's really I did not have like this always knowing thing. I'm actually extremely grateful. I didn't have a hard coming out process. I'm not saying it wasn't a process. It definitely was an act of exploration. It wasn't just like, yep, I'm gay. I would say it started with just like being attracted to women. It started more so as like an appreciation. So I would be like, that woman is beautiful. I could see a woman and I could be like, that is a beautiful woman. That is a pretty lady. And then as I got older, it was beyond just like appreciating their beauty. I was like, I would do things to that person.
I'd hit that.
Yeah, it would be like, I'd hit that. Like, so it honestly became, it's definitely been within the last decade. I'd had like really, some dalliances with women. Like, I definitely high school, college kiss girls, never did anything much more than that. But it definitely kind of really, like, I started really asking myself that question when I had a friend who's beautiful, drop dead gorgeous, I think who I'm talking about. And she's beautiful. She captures the attention of anyone in the room.
Yeah.
Gay, straight, doesn't matter. She walks in and everybody stops and looks. And I really started, it was like beyond like, am I attracted to this person? Do I like this person as a friend, as just a friend?
Right.
Because like, I was like doing things that I used to do with like guys that I was into. I'm like planning out texts and erasing things. I'm like, no, that sounds stupid. Like,
ooh, like getting giddy?
Yeah, getting giddy at butterflies when I was with them. Like when I'm texting, I'm like, oh my god, no, you sound stupid.
Oh,
Don't
so you
say
had a
that.
crush?
Yeah, I did. Like I did. I was like
nothing better
sliding
than a
into their
crush.
DMs on Insta, like trying to
Like be funny.
Yeah, just trying to like be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started, and then I just kind of delved deep into that, and landed on then kind of started having more sexual experiences with women. I can say with certainty I'm definitely gay. It's known as a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I like remember when you just like started like making out with girls. Because like I don't know that like you really okay, so I do want to go back to like to that at some point, like you kind of testing the waters a bit. But like who was the first person you had like told like that you are like attracted to women? Like, do you remember that? Because I don't know that you've actually like even told me. You just started making out with girls, and then I think you're like, yeah, and I
think that's like for
like
me, like again, a very privileged like way that I came about. Like I mentioned, I didn't have a hard coming out, so it was more just like kind of figuring it out. But it wasn't hard. There was like some people that I was like a little nervous around, but I grew up in a family culture where I had gay aunts and gay uncles. I like nobody had to explain to me when somebody was gay.
Yeah.
And so like I grew up in that privilege of like I never felt like I had to sit somebody down and tell them I was gay.
Yeah.
I'm like, even with my parents, I could tell you how I came out to my dad because I didn't really. We were at After Dark actually, and we were at a family friend who does drag. we were at one of their shows, and so we were at a table. It was reserved for us. We were all there, and like in between performers, the MC of the night will do like little games or bring people up on stage just to kind of keep things moving, keep things entertaining. And they played this little silly, like, if you're gay and you know it, clap your hands. If you're lesbian and you know it, clap your hands. And it got to the part where it was like, if you're bi and you know it, clap your hands. I clap my hands. I'm sitting right next to my dad, and he's just and then I saw him like say something to my mom, and my mom's just like, she likes girls. And we never talked about it. Like,
I could I just because knowing your parents, I could so picture this like a movie. Like,
but now he's like, do you know this? And my mom was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And
he's like, okay.
And the best part is, in true Swartz fashion, we didn't talk about it. Like, even as we're leaving, never once ever got brought up again. Even when I did like my official coming out last year, I did a local photographer did a pride shoot, and beautiful photos, a rainbow flag behind me. I felt so beautiful. That was like my official, like, I'm coming out,
I'm gay.
like telling everyone. And I'm not gonna lie, that is the one time that, like, as soon as I hit post, I was so excited to post it. I was like, oh yeah,
oh
so
good,
awesome. I'm so happy to post this. As soon as I hit send and it hit the internet, I like felt like I was gonna throw up.
Oh.
And then I like
was anyone mean though?
No,
Okay,
no,
was
no.
like,
It was just like a revelation. Like, all of my friends knew because like they would see me having interactions with females, and they're like, like, so like the people closest to me knew already. It wasn't
and you
like
started
a surprise.
talking about it.
Just start candidly talking about it.
So like, I don't know. I guess like, let me get your opinion on this, because like, not to cut you off, but like, I hope we get to a point where we like don't even really have to like come out of the closet.
Like
I never told you like, hey, guess what? I'm straight. Well, I have told you that for other reasons.
I actually thought that was going to be the first question. Why don't you want me?
Okay, Brittany, why am I not your type?
We're not doing this here. I've told you plenty of times.
I'm just like, you're wrong. I'm just kidding.
I love you. Keep trying.
It's literally just a joke because I am straight.
I love your ambition, though.
But anyways, it's like, straight people don't have to come out. Like, so I think like I hope at some point, it, like, first of all, I also think like sexuality is so complex. So it's like, even like you trying to explain like you identify as bisexual, it's like,
there's biphobia even within the LGBTQI community. Like, it's controversial sometimes to some people to be bi. Like, there's still like that outdated, like, pick a side or it's just a phase, and you're just like invalidating a huge percentage of an already small minority group.
Right.
So like I said,
right. And I don't like, which I feel like we've kind of talked about this, like, I feel like there's also a spectrum. It's like, I don't think just because someone identifies as straight, they're like 100% straight. I think people can like hover around this area more towards the middle, you know what I mean? So
I mean, statistical anomaly, this is gonna upset a lot of people, but like, nobody's truly 100% like super gay, super straight. That's just like science. Like, I'm even like being like bisexual does not mean 50-50. Like, it's like a running joke. One of the first times, actually, my fiance, my partner, like called me out. Definitely said that I was leaning more towards women than I am men, and I was like, you don't really think that, do you? He's like, it's definitely like 80-20. So I mean,
again, you better feel lucky.
You're I told somebody else that. I can't remember where I was, so I'm like, this is the one guy.
Yeah, you're like, you're the exception. So
he is bi wife energy, so I'll keep him.
And so, kind of like looping back around to that though, like, how did you talk to him? Like, how, like, I'm sure it went in like stages and phases.
I mean, we've definitely had.
Like, is he okay with me saying his name on here?
I think so. Anybody who actually knows me, and I think a whole lot of your listeners probably know you personally, which means by association they probably know of me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Chase is his
It's not
name.
even his legal name.
I guess not. Yeah.
So I guess it's not anonymous, but That's not his government
Let's also
name.
give his like date of birth, his social security number, his credit card information.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was I definitely like really came to because we've been together for a decade. So and my entire current sexual journey has only primarily been with men. Um only ever dated men, only ever experienced a heteronormative relationship thus far. Um so yeah, there was, we had to have those conversations, and like especially being that like we're engaged now and we are going to be married, and we're it's non-traditional but still very traditional because we're putting on paper we're going to do the legal ceremony.
Yeah.
We could just continue to live in sin for the rest of our lives as we've done so far. But yeah, we had to have so we definitely had the conversation because I hope he's okay with me telling this story. He didn't tell me I couldn't, but I also didn't ask.
The rules are there are no rules.
There's some lore on his side of the family. He has family members. He had an uncle who, his first wife had left him for a woman, and so like the running joke between us is like he's gonna be this generation's uncle. Like I'm gonna leave him for a woman. And I will say when like it first happened, he definitely was. He had to grow into being comfortable with it. Like as I become more candid and more comfortable, I would like say things like when we were watching a TV show, I'd be like, "Oh, she's attractive," and he was just like, "I don't want to hear that." At the start, and now we like check out women together.
Yeah.
Like it's come full circle.
But I think jealousy is normal.
Yeah,
like no matter who you're attracted to.
Exactly, and I wouldn't want him to be like, "Oh, you can look at women, but like not guys."
Yeah.
Or the other day, he made a mention of like, I think that if we did that, you would be opening me up to like have an emotional connection with a guy. And I was like, well, why couldn't I have an emotional connection with a woman? Like, especially if I'm more attracted to women, like by your own insecurities, you should be more afraid of me leaving you for a woman. I don't think that's 80%. Yeah, you did stats. I did shit stats. But I know that math ain't right.
The math ain't math.
So yeah, it's definitely come full circle. We're far from that now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like say it. We're having like a non-traditional type of relationship and marriage. Like we're kind of right now leaning. We have a lot of friends who are like polyamorous, and so that kind of lifestyle is intriguing to us. We see it, and it's very different. That is a whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Right now we're kind of like dipping our toes into a little semi non-monogamy. So for us, that means that there's not this expectation that like strictly like we are only for the rest of our lives going to be with each other, because my never having been with a woman, being in a full relationship with a woman, that is a looming anxiety, I think, for him and I both. And so our kind of response to that worry or concern is that we have opened ourselves up for me to be able to experience things with women. So I am open to kiss other women. I've been with other women, and the way that it works for us, because I think you're going to ask, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Communication is, I do not keep anything. I took every person I've ever kissed outside of my relationship with my current partner. I've always told them, and even if it's been with a guy, most of the time when it's with a guy, it's like a joke. But I
didn't know you've done that with a boy specifically.
Yeah, he's seen me. I mean, one of our polyamorous friends. It's a very loving kind of group of people. So like, when two people start kissing, then everybody starts kissing, and then like nobody wants to be left out.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, every time that happens, I'm either preemptively telling him, preferably, our boundaries are like, if something's gonna happen, like he'd like to know in advance. If it doesn't always work out that way, like get swapped up in the moment or something, I just tell him afterwards.
Okay.
We break it down, we talk about it. That's how it's worked so far. And I don't want anybody to think that like this is just what we do. We're not like swingers where we're doing this every time. Like very few instances has this happened. It's a start. We're dipping our toes.
I think it's like, honestly, like I'm trying to like think of like exactly how I want to articulate it. I don't think, first of all, if you want to be a swinger in a relationship, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like, I
No.
feel like it's like actually like very almost healthy that you two recognize that you want to stay together forever because you're making this forever commitment to get married, while also allowing you, since you weren't afforded the opportunity to explore women prior to him, because you've been together for 10 years.
Yep.
10
The
years.
relationship I had before that was with a partner of 4 years.
Yeah, like, so like you, I mean, you love you're relationship girly.
Yes.
And so I think it's like beautiful that like you can get to explore this side and like really understand it for yourself while still in a relationship.
Absolutely. I am very fortunate. I'm very grateful that I have an understanding partner.
Yeah. Because I don't think everyone would.
No, and I'm not
experience
advocating this for everyone. I don't think this would work for most people. Like, let me say, I mentioned I had a 4-year relationship with somebody prior to this. This would have never flown with that person. And it's very much, I mean, we have a basis of trust, and I cannot stress enough communication. I do not ever feel nervous or embarrassed to talk about. I mean, honestly, sometimes we have conversation and he tells me I tell him too much. He goes, I didn't need to know that information. Not in regards to like sex or anything, but sometimes I'm an oversharer.
Yeah, same.
So I talk too much.
We have that in common.
I've never shied away from a conversation. We have tough conversations.
Yeah.
Even if we don't want to have a hard conversation, we have it because we know we can't let it slide. So communication, loyalty, and I know that sounds funny because we're non-monogamous, but it's a loyalty to that person. You are trusting that person to stay within your boundaries, your personal comfort zone. And I mean, there is a way that we could cheat on each other. Like if I was seeing somebody without telling them
in secret
and hiding and lying and just not being open, that is cheating. That is infidelity. That is not okay.
Yeah.
So that's, again, you have to be very mature about it. You have to talk about it, and you have to have a baseline, good foundation level of trust.
Right. Okay, Britt. So I know you were talking about like basically like just like communicating, you know, everything that you've done or plan to do, etc. But like, and I know like this can be different for all couples, and like you and Chase like could have completely different experience than someone else that's kind of like, you know, semi non-monogamous. But like, are there any like strict boundaries that you two have like set like for your relationship specifically with this?
Like in terms of like when we're being with somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or mean, just like
just silly ones.
When it's not just the two of you, like outside of your relationship, like what are the boundaries?
It's not really. So this one's not really so much of like a boundary, but he has definitely told me like he prefers when, like, if we're with a person and that is a potential option like on the table, the night could lead to something like that. He definitely has told me that he likes me to like give him permission to like essentially kind of join that interaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
like you lead every time?
No. I will say I am more it's funny because it like changes depending on the type of person that I'm with. I'm definitely a submissive type of person in the bedroom when I'm with guys. I like men to take a more assertive lead.
Yeah, we're very similar in that sense.
Yes, but when I'm with women, I like both ways, but I definitely find myself being the leading type, which like with men would never happen.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't want to say like the goal is always for me. That makes me sound like a selfish person, but so far, like as we've explored this, but I'm also my sex drive is higher. Like the importance is more stressed on me in my interactions. But I mean, I've never not let my partner participate so far. So that's the thing too, is like I also want to preface that I actually haven't had very many like one-on-one situations, and even when I've had a one-on-one situation, it was like kind of like the appetizer of the evening. Like I usually bring that person home. So I don't know. I had an ADHD moment. I lost where
I know.
I
was like, are you thinking or did you lose it?
I lost it.
Never know.
But so yeah, he like, you know, maybe went before like anything really has happened, like for me to give him like the green light, where I'm like, you know, you can touch her, you can kiss her, you can join. It's like a flip switches in him, and then it's a green light, and he tells me he likes that, and I think it's a relieving thing, so that it's like everybody's agreeing.
Okay, so with that, so when it's you with a man, you tend to be more submissive. But with you kind of like giving him the permission, that's kind of taking a more masculine role. But once you give him the permission, if it's you, a girly, and Chase, what role, like, does it change? Like, do you become the submissive again once he is in the dynamic, or like how does that work? If that's too much, you don't have to disclose.
I'm gonna be honest. One thing I love about opening myself up to having like multiple partners in like one evening is I'm also lazy. So I love tagging out. So like honestly, when I just like need a moment, I just need to collect my thoughts, my breath, myself. I'm just like, hey buddy, go get her. Respectfully.
That's like the best thing I've ever heard you say.
No, but like I'm being honest.
You're like, let's open this up because I just don't want to get on top anymore.
No, honestly, like I'm like, oh sweet, she wants to ride. Yes, I hate doing that. I don't gotta do it for another few weeks. It's like, okay,
go ahead, give him a blowjob too.
I'm in the back, like, yeah, you're doing great.
You're the cheerleader. Woo.
So it's really funny too. So I will say this.
Want me to record this?
So it's funny also. So talking about boundaries, before we ever actually had another experience with another person, when we had talked about what that possibly would look like we were like, hey, would we ever allow this moment to happen? Like, what are our thoughts? Like, are we comfortable with this? I had originally had a hard rule that was like, I don't think I would want to share you with another person. Like, I would want to be the way that the evening would go. Would be like, I'd be interacting with that woman, because when we first started discovering,
God, that would be too much for you, Britt. You would have to
fuck
actually, them and fuck him.
Depending what position you're in, if I'm in the middle, like I don't have to exert a lot of energy, maybe, or for both at least.
I just got a visual, so
sweet dreams tonight.
Thanks.
Just kidding. But so it's funny. So originally that was like a hard rule. I was like, I don't think I would want that to happen. I would only want us to be like, you can be a weirdo in the corner.
Yeah.
And then when like we had our first moment where that was happening, and I was faced with that encounter, and the question was like, can they interact? I didn't have that feeling anymore. I didn't feel how I thought I would feel. And I actually was like, yeah, go for it. And I didn't hate it.
And afterwards you were like,
I was okay.
Cool.
I don't know, like I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
And again, like we've talked, like there are insecurities, like there's always that looming, like what if they like that person better? What if whoever we interact with doesn't follow by our rules, where it's like, if we say this is like just for the evening, it's just for the evening. Like,
yeah,
you know, we're not like, we're not rude. We don't,
like I like couldn't imagine, like, I mean, I don't think I could ever have this situation, but also it's like I could never deal with like them like texting and flirting afterwards. I would be like,
that is
absolutely, like, she's making you laugh.
Yeah, so that is, I guess,
like, hell no, get out of here.
Like we've never, it's not like a spoken rule, but it's kind of just like an understood rule. I, for the most part, like we've always like we'd never like plan these things out.
Yeah.
They all happen organically. I think that is also a natural thing. If you like kind of plan like sex dates, it's like it can get weird. It's
So you're not
awkward.
on like Tinder, like searching for
I have
ladies?
never had a dating app in my life.
Oh, fuck off!
Like that's the thing. Like I've
Get out of here! I'm literally kicking you out. Like,
I've literally been in a relationship so long that I've never had one.
I literally had one for 5 years.
So I will say this. That's actually kind of a fib. I've never had like Tinder, Bumble, or any of the like heteronormative ones that most people think of. There was one geared towards LGBTQIA persons. Nothing ever really came from that besides me flirting with some people.
Okay.
We never met up with anyone. It kind of like got still there. I mean, this was years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe that app is happening and hopping now, and like people are on it. I think it was called Her. HER, and it was geared specifically for like women and like bisexual lesbian. I know there's another one that my TikTok just loves to throw in my face because it knows my algorithm, but like called Tammy or something.
I haven't heard of
I'm sure
any
it's
of
not on
these.
your TikTok.
No.
We overlap a lot, but apparently not there.
Literally never heard like that in my entire life.
I literally like every 3 videos I get a sponsored ad.
There is this which like I don't know for certain, but just like context clues. Like have Grindr specifically for guys, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so like obviously I've never had it, but I'm on the side of TikTok where like this guy will go up to like other guys and say, "Are you straight?" And they say yes, and then they'll play the sound like, "Do you know what this is?" And I'm assuming it's like seeing if they're lying, like to see if and it's just like funny their reactions.
Yeah, I've
like,
seen videos
like,
where
huh?
somebody
or
will
like,
go in like a crowded space and play it, and then like who reacts to like look into their pocket.
I just think it's kind of funny.
I think it would be funny too.
Yeah, I feel like we should start doing stupid ass TikToks, like interviewing people downtown.
I would fucking love that. Like the guy who screams at people. He's like a famous comedian, but on New York, he just like screams at people and then gives them $1. Sometimes if they're wrong, just
he goes like, miss for $1, name a white man. And then they're like,
yeah. My favorite is when he asks people about like John Oliver or like
right next to him.
He's like right next to him, or I think it's like RuPaul.
Yeah,
he's like obviously targeting like people who are like outwardly gay, and they're like, "Do you like this person or John Oliver?" And they're like, "Who the fuck's John Oliver?" And he's standing right there.
Or like Jennifer Lawrence went around and was like, name a Jennifer Lawrence movie, and they're like naming all Jennifer Aniston movies, and she's like, no, wrong Jennifer, and they like have no clue it's her. I'm like, first of all, who doesn't know Jennifer Lawrence?
Boomers.
Yeah, they were all old.
Yeah.
Okay. Touche.
But no, I'd be down. I'd do it.
I was like, wait, done with what? I was like, what did I ask you? I know. I was like, you were wrong earlier. No. Yeah, I think we should. I have like all of these ideas and I never do them because like then I just get drunk or something downtown and then I'm like, it all goes out the window. That's what I'm thinking. Who knows?
Let's do it.
I have this camera.
I also have a camera that I never did anything with, so we could have multiple vantage points.
Why did you get your camera?
My camera was not for a podcast. I wanted to be a YouTube beauty guru.
Oh, you did?
I did. I obviously didn't make that.
Have you ever made a video?
I think maybe once I made a haul.
Okay.
Which was what I told myself when really I just had like a shopping addiction. It's for my channel, Bob.
Would you ever do it?
A haul? Like YouTube?
Now?
Probably not, because editing videos, I mean, like I can't even do TikToks. It's so tedious.
Yeah.
I get so frustrated.
Yeah.
That's why
this takes a lot of work.
It's the editing. I thought it would be better than it was, and then I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, and the upload, I don't know if it's just my laptop, but it takes like a fucking like full day to upload an hour plus video.
I feel like that tracks from like I used to follow a lot of YouTubers who like did vlogs and stuff, and
I've been meaning to ask someone, but I'm like, I'm not really willing to like buy another laptop right now, so I'm like,
that's probably
it just is what it is at this point. So And that's also why this will probably be a little bit late. Also, speaking of being late and on my birthday, I did want to get this in really quick. Speaking of getting it in, do you think I will get it in on my birthday? Let's take bets.
Are you inviting that guy to your birthday party?
Which one? No, I'm just kidding. Don't answer. I'm just kidding. Guys are invited, a couple.
I think with the guest list that I know thus far, I think it's a possibility.
Okay.
And I hope that for you.
Let's manifest it.
We'll manifest it.
Because one of the...
all the sexy juju.
Yeah, one of the chaotic things that I posted, which, like, I don't know if people even realized, was, like, I reposted about, like, wanting to get laid on their birthday. And then I did on the next, like, slide of my story a countdown to my birthday. And I'm like, no one slid into my DMs. Damn it.
It was, like, not close enough to... So, like, you're expecting... Because we just had a whole conversation about how your demographic is men.
Yeah.
So, like,
and they're dumb.
That was, like, that's a really long time spatially for them to connect the dots.
That... just the one click of a Instagram slide, or the 18 days specifically. Like, I'll hit her up in 18 days.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm thinking is, like, okay,
we don't want to have to talk to this bitch for 18 days.
Get in, get out.
Okay, I like that. I'll post it again.
Just a reminder. I'm accepting dick and cash.
Here's my Venmo.
Here's my Snapchat.
And this is now prostitution.
Oh yeah, maybe if you put, people are gonna assume that it's a package deal.
Yeah,
it's not.
But, like, they're paying me to have sex with me on my birthday. At that point, I'll take it.
Yeah, do it.
So here's my Venmo. Here's my address.
Don't put your address on the internet.
I'm not going to.
My first thought was that person.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't want him to find out where you live. I'm really concerned about it.
I have to say, I think, so...
They died?
No.
Oh.
I'm not going to give away any hits. But, there's this person that Brittany's actually kind of concerned about. Like, if I go missing, she's going to think, like, he did it. But now there's, like, another person that's maybe worse.
Shut the fuck up. Why are you telling about this right now?
I mean, if I go up missing, there's actually a whole list on my phone right now.
Do you share that note with your sister?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, it's shared with multiple. It's also, like, in my phone. Like, if I die.
Well, if your phone's with
you. Hack it? I don't know.
Okay.
Find someone.
Okay.
Come on. The police have to be able to get into that. Some guy at Verizon should be able to access.
Yeah, I have more faith in the, what do they call themselves? Geek Squad?
I was going to say, the cops?
Not the cops. No faith in that.
They're like, she was posted about fucking on the internet. She was asking for it.
Absolutely not. We're not manifesting that.
Don't murder me.
Don't.
Truly.
No.
This is not a joke.
It's not. We took it too far. We got too silly.
Way too silly. I can't breathe right now. I'm like too giggly. Okay, back to sexuality. Okay, so I feel like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to answer this because you kind of already did, because I know you said it's all about the vibes.
So yeah, I mean,
but, like, if you had to describe what your type is for men and for women.
That's the funny thing. It makes no sense. Because as of lately, and maybe it's just because I'm, like, just deep diving and really putting in work on my sexuality and learning that part of myself, that I'm just like covering all the bases, but I lately find myself really into like people who can like express themselves in a gender bending way. So I find myself really attracted to like masculine type women with the undershave and tattoos. First of all, if you're a human being that looks like a coloring book, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Tattoos, don't care. Hot.
Hot.
I like it.
I would agree.
But then I like right now I'm really into like men who are effeminate. Like I'm really digging Timothy Chalamet and Harry Styles and men who
you can keep Timothy. I'll take Harry.
I will fight you for him.
I don't know. You're shorter than me, but
that don't mean shit.
I know. I was like, I feel like it would be. I feel like it'd be pretty even. We would get scrappy.
Yeah. You'd have to be a little intoxicated. I think you'd be too shy to.
Like,
yeah, no, I'd swing sober straight. I swing 24/7. That's all. I stay swinging.
2 tequila shots. Okay, so more feminine men, you said
lately, but yeah,
you're giving an Abby answer. I'm like, I like everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't really like the people I like, especially for men, are a lot of times men I shouldn't like. Like I find myself.
What do you mean shouldn't?
Like personality wise, like I'm attracted to like people like Post Malone, unconventionally attractive man. I dig it.
What's his name?
I'm talking about the person,
the TikTok guy that we said back and forth.
I love Louis Capaldi.
Yes, I'm like,
he's not attractive like conventionally, but like
you'd have sex with him?
Probably. Yeah, he's a funny dude. I love him. He could sing to me. I think we'd have a great time. I feel like he could.
Oh my god,
he could schmooze me.
I would love to go on a podcast with the three of us.
Could you imagine?
It would be chaotic.
The whole time I would just be like, "What are you saying?"
I think that's what everyone says to me this whole time. Like, what are you saying, Abby?
I want to talk about. The thing is, if we did have him on there, we'd only be talking about mental illnesses, which is fine.
Yeah,
relatable. Or
so
One
relatable.
Direction. We would just at least that's what I would talk about with him. I would just like, tell me what it's like to be in their presence.
But is he only really friends with Niall?
I mean, him and Harry Styles kissed. I think he's friends with all of them.
Oh yeah.
His joke is that he's like collecting them like infinity stones. I hope he succeeds. I feel like Zayn's gonna be the hardest.
Yeah, I was actually literally just picturing him. I'm like, I don't ever see them like interacting ever.
No, they wouldn't. I don't think, unless they get back together.
I feel like this is one of like the first things we ever bonded over was like. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm just like totally
Louis
wrong.
Capaldi,
like Niall Horan. Is that?
Why are you saying it like that?
Did I say it wrong?
You are.
How did I say it?
Niall. Why are you stressing? Why are you?
How do I pronounce his last name?
It's Horan.
I said the whole thing wrong.
And I'm actually like questioning myself because I let you do it twice.
Niall,
like the river.
What did I say?
Niall.
Niall.
I don't know why you're saying it like that.
Hopefully he forgives me.
If there's anything you're gonna get canceled over in your career, this might be. If a directioner catches your TikTok or your YouTube, you're done.
I'll clip this whole thing. Podcast blows up. I'm canceled though. It's the last episode. Happy birthday to me, not. What were we even talking about? Oh, your type. That's what?
Niall Horan is my type.
Same, even though I keep pronouncing. My type is so all over the place because I like him, but I also like hairy, dirty boys.
Yeah, there's I have like, I don't want to say like types because I feel like type encompasses so much more, but there's like, I want to say there's traits that I find attractive. So like people, especially men with light eyes, blue, green, hazel, with like dark hair, dark features. I love that.
Ooh, did you watch is it the After movies?
Yes. So the After was actually written on One Direction fan fiction, right? You do know that, right? The After stories were originally about Harry Styles.
Shut up.
Yes.
No!
She wrote them all on Wattpad. They were all originally about One Direction, and when she got a book deal, she had to change the name. So what is his name? Heron? Something like that. But it used to be Harry Styles. If you go on Wattpad, the original story is about Harry Styles because Harry's team wrote her a cease and desist. Because I will say this, like, it was like,
Did this happen to him?
what do you mean?
Like the
No,
storyline.
it's completely fan fiction. So like
Okay.
people, like Wattpad was an app, like especially during the One Direction days, people were way overboard, way
Okay.
overboard.
But if I had to describe my like one type, it would be that guy.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
he's attractive.
like the perfect guy.
Okay, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hit that too.
Yeah, I think anyone would who has eyes.
Yes,
But like the tattoos.
Yes, the tattoos. I love music art. And Chase is gonna hate this. This is the one trait, like, of all the people that I'm like, I'm attracted to that person for this one thing. People with Boston accents. I love that shit.
Really?
He hates it. So like the one TikTok,
It's such a harsh accent.
Exactly. He gets so upset. So there's one content creator. She's a makeup guru. You've probably seen her, Michaela, on TikTok.
Yeah.
She has heavy boxes.
Kim Kardashian.
He fucking hates her. He literally is like, turn that shit off. As soon as her video comes up, he just starts mocking her. He's just like, ha.
I feel like they're very like masculine energy guys, which is very controversial with your take on like your type.
Yeah, see. It don't make sense. It does not make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like what I like. Tattoos will usually do it for me. Your hairstyle.
I feel like I could probably deeply like anyone as long as they're funny.
Yeah, personality.
Because people can be funny, but like my type of like funny banter.
Yeah.
You know,
they
like,
have to get my humor for sure because I'm cringy,
dark, sexual, awkward,
morbid, awkward.
Yeah,
that
takes it too far.
Silly. Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah,
I also have to be able to have an intellectual conversation with you.
Yeah,
I don't want to. This is gonna be elitist of me, but like, if I can't have an intellectual conversation or like you're just dumb, I can't stand it.
Oh my god, I totally agree. But like, also, I feel
I can be friends with those people
for sure.
but I cannot respect and let them have sex with me.
If they cannot come inside, if a person is, you don't even go here.
Harvard, like it's hard.
If someone like is kind of funny, at minimum, they have to be kind of quick, or at least to understand your joke. So if they're dumb, they're just never gonna get it.
Yes,
the girls that get it, or is it the guys that get it? What is it?
Anybody can get it with me. Yeah,
except for me. Just kidding.
Full circle. I knew we were going to talk about this on the podcast.
Everyone's going to think they're like, you said you're straight. You're not. Like, oh, God.
The best part is you argue with me. I'm always arguing with you with like, we have these arguments. I'm like, this is not what you want. Let me help you.
And it's like, I think like it just started with like one night we were all out drunk. I think it was like for your birthday or something.
Somebody's birthday.
And
the last time we had this argument, it was your birthday.
It was. I know. It was. Was it?
I think so.
No, I think it was we were at Curly's.
Possibly.
Anyways, you like put a post on Facebook Messenger, which just like shows how like drunk we were. You were like something about I love my friends, but I'm not attracted to any of them. And I like replied and was like, rude.
Yeah.
Just like I don't even care. It's like literally just like the funniest
Why
thing.
not me?
That is it. I'm like, come on. Can you just call me hot?
Like, you are attractive. Get some tattoos and we can talk.
Oh, okay. I go get a tattoo like tomorrow.
I'm drooling. I can't even talk to you anymore.
It's just like a little thing. It's like,
maybe.
Okay, Britt. So I usually ask all of the single people this, but since, everything we just talked about, I want to ask you if your DMs are open.
Oh, like for people to slide into?
Yeah.
I guess they are.
Because I know you usually have be organic, but
No, I mean that's when yeah. I mean, sorry, I'm flustered. Yeah, definitely they are open. I'm not, most people don't really. I'm not a pursuer. I don't know how these things happen because I don't actually usually pursue people.
I don't either.
I don't have game.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just keep getting lucky. But yeah, it's like even like a joke. Like the other day, Chase was like, "Oh, do you want me to like flirt for you? Because I don't think you want that." And I was like, "I mean, it depends." So that's
I can't even really see him flirting though.
I know, isn't that funny? I mean, he's a different person sometimes. I mean, he flirted. Well, I guess he didn't really, because when we first got together, all of our friends told us we were together. We even didn't recognize us being together for the longest time.
Yeah, and I guess how long was he single for in between you and the last person?
So I guess he and his girlfriend broke up. So when we got together in college, we got together in our last year of college when we both went to IPFW. And me and him had both been in long term college relationships.
Yeah, because I used to hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was friend in their friend group separately, and then your Ethan's friend group separately, and then we all kind of merged.
Right. But the way I understood it is because they were doing long distance, they were on the fizzle out, and she wasn't always around as I know it to be. I don't know. I'm not an expert on their relationship, nor do I care. It's water under the bridge. I don't really care.
Over 10 years ago.
Exactly. I want to say because
the reason I'm asking is because I don't really even remember him being single. I don't remember what he was like.
Yeah, so I didn't at first know either because I remember we all went out when C Street was still a thing. Showing our age here.
Yeah. But C Street used to be amazing.
It did. Oh, kind of.
I loved it.
I loved it, but when it was so packed you couldn't move, it was horrendous.
Didn't care. And I would just go up on the stage.
I did like that. I like dancing. There's no true places you can dance really in Fort Wayne anymore. I will say that much. I miss for that.
After Dark
is getting a lot better. So here, I might get canceled in the gay community for saying this, but old After Dark, I don't know if a lot of people now know that After Dark has moved in Fort Wayne.
I just heard that.
The old After Dark, I actually used to hate going.
Oh.
Not for the ambiance or the shows. I love going there, but when it was just when there was no show going on and it was just a DJ. This is gonna get my gay card canceled. I don't like house music. Okay. That's a huge gay culture thing, techno house music.
Yeah.
I
look who's canceled now.
I hate
with
it.
Me.
I don't like it. Now, for me, and when I want to dance to words. I've never been huge into just beats and EDM.
So you want them to play Taylor Swift?
I mean, yeah, I would dance to Taylor Swift or rock Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm. I would dance.
But so the new After Dark though, we went. I don't know if it's a new DJ or he's just trying something new because he's in a new venue. But it was danceable. So
okay, so someone gave me the feedback that they didn't love that it was all on the same floor or bar.
Yeah, it's all on the same. But that was a unique venue. You're not gonna have that anywhere else. I mean, there's no other place.
If anything, I feel it'll make people congregate more there, so there'd be more people dancing. That's what I was picturing. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I felt it's definitely a smaller space. So the space has downsized. But I think I like the patio aspect of it better.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I've been there for. I think that was like maybe one of the first places I saw you make out with a girl. Actually,
Yeah,
full
funny.
circle here.
Yeah, full circle. Funny story. I have hooked up with a girl at that bar. In fact, I am pretty confident I am the reason there is a locked keypad on the green room because me and her were in there. And
That
there,
night.
that night, yeah. So that was a Night of Chase's show. A funny story, it was the girl that I slid into the DM. So I was successful, just so everybody knows. Not in that DM, but I redeemed myself and I was able to, make it happen. So yeah, no, it was Chasing Them had a show, and she was there, my friend, and we were making out all night. And at one point, I did have a boat of confidence, and I did put the moves on her. I grabbed her hand and I whisked her away, and we went into the green room, which is for the bands, but I felt like I had access to it because it was my fiance show. So I inserted myself in there, and sure enough, like I had her like up against the wall. We're
Ooh.
going to town. All of a sudden, out of
walked
the
in on you?
quarter of my eye, no, apparently there was already somebody in the room, and we just didn't see them. And all of a sudden, out of the quarter of my eye, I mean, like we're getting hot and heavy. Like it
Yeah.
was things were moving.
Finger banging.
No, but I was getting down on the ground. I was getting on my knees.
Okay. Oh.
But I saw somebody moving, and all of a sudden I saw like one of the guys who was from like the traveling band that opened for them just like shimmying along the wall towards the door. And then yeah, so like the next weekend we went there was a locked keypad on the green room door.
Oh gosh.
So I don't know for certain, but I'm gonna say it was me.
So you were right. You were hooking up on your knees, and I was crying. So that's how
I forgot. Yeah, that was. I was like on the other side of the aisle,
like, sobbing, crying.
I'm so sorry.
In public. Damn. No one wants to see that. I never want to be that girl. I've been that girl a couple of times.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, though, I am going to keep you here. So just a heads up. I had like this kind of conversation planned for part 1. We are going to do a part 2. So you guys aren't here for literally like 300 hours listening to us in 1 week. So definitely come back for part 2. It's going to be a little bit different, just like random conversations. But I do want to thank you for being so honest.
Thank you.
I feel like
really, it was actually terrifying, but I had fun.
Yeah. I mean, you're so open in real life. So like I was kind of curious how you would be, because like this is gonna go on.
I was gonna say it's basically been a year since I did the full like big reveal on the internet. So this is just like, me buckling down.
Cherry on top.
I am a little concerned about like any like family that like I don't think most people care. So I don't think maybe a whole lot of people, but there's like maybe 3 people that I think would definitely probably listen. And so
yeah.
It's things I don't normally talk about them with.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to like come to terms with like my family potentially listening to me, but like if it's like here's the thing, it's like
I don't really care.
Talk about them, so it's like this is your life. Like I don't care if they hear the stuff that I talk about. It's like first of all, don't listen if you don't want to hear me talking about sex. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be like rude to your family or anything, but it's
I don't.
This is your life. This is your lived experience, and I'm glad you were open about it because
absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like things should be talked about more. Like make it more normalized. Like that's like one thing I wanted about the podcast is just like a lot of it's about the trauma that I went through. But here's the thing: you're my friend, and you were willing to come on and talk about this, and so
absolutely. I also want to normalize it, so that's why I'm a huge advocate.
Yeah.
I call my partner. Well, now I call him fiance, but before, when he was still my boyfriend, I would call him my partner, and it's kind of
you posted about this about making that more normal.
Yeah, because
now I use partner, which I haven't had a partner since you posted that, but like I say like my future partner, or like when I talk about like a future like partner
for a lot of reasons. First of all,
boyfriend.
I mean, first, it's just a mature way. Like we're older. Like I don't want to call somebody my boyfriend, my girlfriend. Like sometimes yes, but like not all the time. So
I don't have one, so
there you go. Partner also, but yeah, it's a normalization technique that I've adopted into my vocabulary, because it used to be like a dead giveaway for people in the 80s and the 90s if they would refer to somebody as their partner. It was a immediate like, are you gay?
Right.
And like now it's fine. Most people are just like pretty open about it, but it's a way to not have that deep, long, explained conversation like what we've been trying to say, like,
Right.
hey, let's not do that anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I told you this, but just for the listeners, I just was like referencing like my girlfriend talking about literally just one of my friends that's a girl's to this girl like in my neighborhood, and she fully thinks I'm a lesbian now.
I have had people ask me that, and because I'll drop girlfriend candidly in a conversation, and I had a guy ask me, he's like, when you say girlfriend, do you mean girlfriend or do you mean like girlfriend? And I'm like, well, I mean, depends on who I'm talking about, but sometimes both.
I know. Then I was like, I don't want to like even make it a big deal because it's like I just like don't even care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh, just one of my friends, and like I moved on from the conversation because like I don't think it should be like this big ordeal. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I appreciate you coming on and being honest. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. All right. But I guess for people to slide into your DMs, do you want to drop your handle?
Ooh, I don't know them off the top of my head.
You want to look it up?
Yeah.
In the meantime, I think I went right here. In the meantime, you can follow me at Abby McCarville, and you can follow the Ope Pod.
It used to be my first and last name, and then I realized that wasn't internet smart. So, Brittany_wandering.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ope